Hello, YouTube. This is the entity speaking, coming through again. This time on a Friday night. This time on a Friday night, the entity is speaking again. I want to discuss a couple things, mainly two topics. I want to discuss the etymology of the word black, and I want to discuss Harpocrates and the mythology of Harpocrates and about the silent inner workings. Okay. So, as I mentioned before in my other videos, I mentioned the etymology of the word black. We have to be careful when we use the word black, and the reason why society and other societies around the world sort of, kind of avoid being black or whatever the case is, because if you understand the etymology of the word black and you understand the ancient traditions like the Moors, different traditions like Mesopotamians, let's see, the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Camites, the ancient Kemet, different things of that nature. They all knew the true meaning of melanated people, and they knew the science of the inner workings, okay, or the esoteric meanings of things. So the etymology of the word black is it's basically it's an esoteric aspect, meaning it's the opposite of black. So if you are considered black in this society today, then it's imperative for you to research the etymology. So, according to the Moors and many other ancient peoples that knew the science and had the Godhead, they understood that if you were a melanated being, that means that you had the Christ bright energy inside of you. If you were pale, if you had pale skin, you were considered black. Okay? Now, let that sink in for a minute. Because sometimes we really don't need to take things physically. Okay? It's physical, but then again, it's abstract. So back in ancient times, the pale people, which were the mortals, they were considered black. Why is that? Because they were fleshly beings. They were only made of flesh. That is it. That which is made of flesh is flesh. That which is made of spirit is spirit. Melanin, the Akash, occultum, is spirit. We're just dead in the spirit. We're spiritual beings dead in the physical. That's the Christ energy. So if you were melanated, they knew you had that burning bush inside of your body, which is the 7 seals of the Moorish science, which is the 7 chakras, or in Gnosticism is the octet. The octet is basically the 7 or 8 chakras, balls of energy inside of the physical body. Okay? Very important. It's very imperative that we do the research and understand certain terminologies and the esoteric meaning behind them, and even the symbology behind them. The reason by that is the reason why we were considered bright people or white people in ancient times is because during the Exodus, after the Exodus, we were still operating at a high vibratory rate. Look at this shit here. Fucking up my shit, motherfuckers. I'll fucking crush your motherfucking ass. You know, but anyways, so before the Exodus, we had these gifts, or these gifts that were considered gifts, but we had these powers, okay? And I remember us having these powers, myself too, because some of us, when we come into consciousness, we get these visions, either in our sleep or during the day. Our ancient ancestors come through us, channeling, downloading these visions, this consciousness, downloading these consciousness, downloading these visions, and downloading the ability to intellectualize these visions and these consciousness, so you can either spread it or you can either apply that information to yourself, and that's what I'm doing. Okay? And what I'm doing now, I am just letting you guys know what I know, because I really can't tell you guys how to do anything to better your life, because everyone is their own particular god or goddess. Okay? All I can do is point you in the right direction and apply that shit to yourself. Okay, so let's get back to the point. Before the Exodus, we were these light beings. In Gnosticism, they're considered the shining ones. These shining ones, or these beings, or these titans, beings, we had the ability to do anything we want. Okay? We didn't need currency. We didn't need food. We didn't need desire. We didn't need ego. We didn't need sleep. We didn't need any earthly lower chakra. We didn't need any of that. Okay? We were the shining ones. We were particles of light, particles of intelligence. That's who we were. So if we wanted to become human, we would come down here and be human. If we wanted to become a cat, we would turn to a cat. If we wanted to become a lion, we would transform into a lion. Okay? So, you gotta understand why when you're dealing with these mythologies, you see animals. Those animals represented something spiritual. It was nothing physical. Okay? Please understand this. We are having a human experience. I know this because in the Numerology, I am the number 3. Okay? So I can get channels from Hecate. I can get channels from Anubis, Papa Legba. I can get channels from all these different crossroad deities. Kansu, Tahuti, Dahuti, okay, Thoth, Thoth. These are all crossroad deities. I am a truck driver. I am constantly on the road. So, the deities that I work with put me on this path to put me on this road, on this truck, so I can have the ability to download these forms of consciousness. Okay? Because I've reached a certain level where I can control certain organs in my body. Okay? That's the whole story of the Christ. We can intellectualize all day, every day. We can talk about history all day, every day, and still be a slave. If you're not applying this information, this magic, this sorcery, the Wicca, the fairy magic, then you ain't doing shit. Okay? You must apply this to your inner being. That's what it wants. Feed the soul. Feed your inner goddess, your inner god. If you incarnated into a female body, there is a god in you. You incarnated into a male body, there is a goddess that resides in that male. Okay? I am talking from gnosis, I am talking from Gnosticism. We are dealing with pure energy. Pure seraphonic energy. We're not talking about, what do you mean it's a goddess in you? You gay? No, I'm not talking about that. Okay? I'm not talking about that. We're talking about energies. Christ itself is a feminine energy. Luciferian is a feminine energy. That's what the etymology was of the word black. That's why, ancient times, the melanated people were considered the Christ people, or the bright white people. It was talking about something spiritual, not physical. Okay? We gotta understand these things. Pale people were considered black on the inside. Why is that? Because I just told you 2 minutes ago. They are flesh. That is it. They were made in the demiurge. We, melanated people, were not made in the demiurge. We were put in the demiurge. We were trapped in the demiurge. Please understand this. That is why we have it extremely hard down here. Okay? The entity that created the pale people works through the demiurge and the pale people. Okay? We are our own. Melanated people are your own entity. Alright? Okay, that is why we cannot come together and do anything, because all of us are chaos beings. We are chaotic. We are using our chaotic energy in the wrong way. Some of us are using the chaotic energy to hinder other chaotic beings. That was the whole cosmic joke. You must use your chaotic energy to raise yourself up spiritually, consciously, to gain consciously, to develop your soul, to develop your consciousness. The ancients, the Moors, the ancient Egyptians, the Mesopotamians, the Olmekians, the Luciferians, the Titanium being, they all understood this aspect. Now, where does racism come in? I was listening to a Dr. Frances Cress Welsing lecture, and something came to me as I was looking at her lecture, and I was looking at her intellectualize the whole white supremacy, and I said, wow, we have become genius in figuring out white supremacy and how it works. We have become damn near, we figured it out, but we are still here. We are still suffering. Why is that? Because a lot of our intellectual leaders do not understand that this is a spiritual war, not physical. And the entity that works through this demiurge knows this. So you will not conquer the physical beings that's a part of this demiurge. It's not going to happen. There will be no black utopia, no black kingdom. That shit is gone, over with. We are dinosaurs of humanity. Please understand this. We can intellectualize white supremacy all we want. Nothing will happen. Okay? We have reached the pinnacle of trying to figure out white supremacy. And guess what? You're still trying to figure it out, and you're going in circles. This demiurge is powered by melanated people. So, in other words, the entity that is working through the demiurge is a melanated spirit. A lot of you might not want to hear that shit. A lot of you might not understand that shit. But I'm telling you right now, listen to me. My numerology is 3. I am a Pisces, and I am a snake in the Chinese zodiac. I am a complete serpent being. My energy is a serpent energy. Okay? I have this. We gotta understand what's going on here, okay? We have to understand what's going on. I found out that physically, I'm 28 years old. On the surface, I am 28 years old. Spiritually, I've been down here since 12,500 BC. That's how far back I was able to go. That's how far back they have shown me. Okay? Because when you get to know these entities, your ancestors, they show you things. They teach you about consciousness and about seeing through the physical world, which is the demiurge. Okay? I've been down here since 12,500 before creation. BC. Please understand this. If you are 30 years old and you are a melanated being and you stand beside a pale person that's 30 years old, that is a young person compared to you. You are much, much, much older than you think you are. We got to stop going against ourselves. Face yourself. Face your self-reflection and see the monstrous soul that resides in you. And therefore you can do the workings of Harpocrates. Harpocrates is the god of silence. I am not going to reveal what I can do. I am not going to reveal the techniques. I'm just going to reveal the information, and all you have to do is just take it or leave it. Okay? I'm just one of the messengers. I am just one of the messengers. There's plenty more out here. There are female messengers and male messengers. I am one of them. So that, by that being said, the conscious group that are getting this information and becoming conscious, you're going to die soon. You're going to leave the physical body. Every single conscious person, maybe except Bobby. Bobby is on his way out, but something else is going on, Bobby. But other than Bobby, every last one of them have made the transition. Okay? Please understand this, and do not be alarmed. Do not be feared, because you are freeing yourself by the consciousness that you gain dealing with your ancestors, dealing with this, your inner workings and your magic. Okay? That's a good thing. Death is a good thing. Death is a good thing. Please study the mythology of Anubis, okay, and Odin, all right, and Seshet, and Serket. These entities will teach you some things about death, and it's the only way you'll be free. Every last one of them made the transition. Every last one of our intellectual scholars and our conscious scholars that was talking about becoming conscious, talking about raising yourself up to another level, they all made the transition. And so will we. So will we. Get ready for it, because it's coming. Okay? We had our human experience. This was some fucked up shit. And we have learned and gained so much from this physical experience. Okay, I have seen the thrones that are waiting on you, waiting on us, in a totally different universe. You have a throne waiting for you. It's waiting. I'm out.